So let's go on. Now I call Claudio Erba, founder and CEO of Docebo.
Docebo,
Docebo, okay. Will tell us something about the company history so far.
Yeah, so thank you for coming. Actually, I listened to Cosimo presentation, and we are completely the opposite. So one rule does not fit all. Cosimo is a customer.
Yeah. By the way, we were a customer.
You were a customer, or you are a customer?
I think probably we are still.
Okay, you should. First of all, my story is a story of a complete outlier. So what happened in Docebo usually does not happen somewhere else, and also probably is not written in any blueprint of venture capital and so on and so on. So we are completely a strange and outlier company. So we are now a 250 people company, growing 60% year over year, with around 30 million ARR. So if you do the 8 times 3, it's like 240 million US dollar evaluation. Owned 100%, 100% Canadian in terms of a holding company. Actually, since the new investor did the secondary acquisition of the shares from an Italian venture capital, we increased the company valuation by 1,400%. You can go for it. Thank you. So this is a quick story. 2015, we have got less than 3 million ARR with the 8 million evaluation. We were showing improving after the previous round in 2012 made by an Italian venture capital, a growth 50% year over year. So we needed some money to scale. And we did a kind of pitch tour to Italian venture capital, and no one understands the shit of what we are doing. Also, if we were proving to grow 50%, and then they gave us the middle finger. But what happened? We didn't go to United States to look for money, because we were proving already to get traction and revenues in the United States. We have an office in Atlanta. This Canadian venture capital came to us and invested in Docebo at 8 million evaluation. In 2016, we started really ramping, and we did a political trick to say to the Italian venture capital, hey guys, you don't have any track record in your portfolio. We are happy to buy back your shares because you are blocking our operation because of bureaucratic fund, rules and so on and so on. And then we bought back the shares, and we were around 5 million ARR. Starting from that moment, we made the trip in 2 years to 5. We went to 15, and then this year we're close to 30 million ARR, 60% growth year over year. Now we have 1,400 customers. We are the learning platform of Netflix. We are the learning platform of Starbucks. We are the learning platform of Hilton Hotels. But also in Italy, we have Ducati, Dolce & Gabbana, Decision, and so on and so on and so on. So as of today, if I have to sell the company, and then I'm not gonna sell my company, we can sell it easily to 240 million thanks to the liquidity on the market. We don't know until the window will be open. Just few numbers. We are a full Canadian company, 250 people, 130 in Italy. Italy is taking care of the R&D. Italy is taking care of the sales of South Europe and what we call the GCS, the Global Customer Success Team, for Europe plus Asia Pacific. We have customers in 90 countries in the world, from New Zealand to Hawaii. 60% ARR growth, and 60% of our revenues comes from United States and Canada. 55 United States, 5% Canada. 29% of our cost structure is R&D. So we invest a lot on the product. We are a product-driven company approaching the product-led growth marketing strategies and so on and so on. We are always on top of the quartile in every OpenView benchmark, except for salaries, for my salary. This is the strategy North American investors are using to make money with your own company and to make yourself make money. So here the multipliers, except UK, are very low. Usually times 2, times 2.5. Maybe now that there is more liquidity in the market, you can get 3. But if you're smart enough to buy low and flip the company holding and maybe the IP, if you are lucky, like Cosimo in United States, and if you prove growth, you can get easily 6 times, sometimes 8. I've seen some competitors doing 11.2. That was a good deal. One problem for you guys. If I don't know how Cosimo did the flip, but we flipped. Docebo now have the Canadian office, that is the parent company, owning 100% of Docebo United States, 100% of Docebo Italy, 100% of Docebo Dubai, and 100% of Docebo UK. That means that when a company is founded in Italy, you need to do, in some way, you need to move your assets in North America. There are different techniques. We use the most costly one, that is an equity exchange. There are other techniques like equity flip and so on and so on. The Italian law is stupid enough to consider that when you flip your equity, it's capital gain. It's not equity for cash, but equity for equity is still capital gain. So I needed to pay several fucking million of taxes on by my pockets as well, by my pockets. So we did this equity exchange, and of course my investor was wise enough to pay me secondary to pay the taxes. Ideally, in order to get a really clean cap table, you should have 100% subsidiaries owned 100% by the holding company. What is the main pain that we have and we will have and you will continuously have when you scale? Talent, people. First of all, one advantage that the investor does not understand is that if you have R&D in Europe, except UK, is more North America in terms of competition of talents, you will have talent retention. They don't understand. And when I do my board meetings and I have the HR table with the attrition is when how many employees you have fired or left the company, you say, Cla, are we firing too little? No, we are in Italy. Usually having a long-term contract is like winning a lottery, and people is happy to stay in the company. Of course, you need to put in place a lot of talent retention strategies. Now, for us, talent retention is one of the main strategies and goal in the company, especially in R&D and sales. In order to ramp a salesperson, it took for us 6-9 months to start signing the first contract, 1.5 years, 2 years to get full productive. That for us is a quota in between 600 and 1.2 million, really depends on the if we hire a rock star or not, but you cannot hire always also rock stars, only rock stars. What we are discovering now, that scaling means, last year we hired 100 people, that the onboarding process is crucial for all the functions. That means industry enablement, that means sales enablement, that means knowing the company, sharing the vision. And this is a huge activity and task for the HR. Please get a kick-ass HR person. some day one people will not follow you. I mean, they are happy when you are 10 people, 20 people, 30 people. When they get 240, when the dynamics changes, when productivity drops. Because when you are 250 people, you are not efficient like when you were 30 people. These guys don't feel themselves in the same family. Other guys are performing better. It's growing, it's a pain, and some get ready to pay them secondary and buy them the shares and say thank you, or find another role in the company. In terms of operations, being a kind of multi-soul company with some part of the leadership in Europe, another part of the leadership in Toronto, but the biggest of it that makes more money is in Atlanta. For us, it's a fucking pain in the ass. It's really, really complex. The main problem is communications. Not only because of time zone or time difference, but because when you are together around the same table, you are 200 times more productive than doing video conferences and blah, blah, and blah, blah. This is the main gap that we have compared to, you know, Silicon Valley company, one big facility all together until they have a big market big enough to scale this way. We don't. NA functions, I'm talking just only about NA. I'm not talking about going selling to Russia, to Asia Pacific, that is another journey. NA people need to have a different mindset. They are very aggressive on sales, but big culture gap. Canada is another world compared to United States. And you needed to be used to that, but also you need to learn how to deal with that. For example, when we opened it in the United States, we opened it in 2012, our product is quite good. Then we started kicking asses to Silicon Valley guys that have the same product. And the first customer I have acquired in Silicon Valley was Zendesk and Optimizely. 1 year, they both churned because we thought to have the customer service here in Italy working with Silicon Valley guys. And the problem was not the time zone and the responsiveness. The problem was how they consider important the customer service and the implementation. They don't want my spaghetti English explaining them the product. They want an American person with the same mindset, with the same approach. But the good news is that they are willing to pay way more money than in Europe. I mean, if you go in Europe, they are willing to pay the product, but they think that services are included in the product. If you don't price a lot the services to US, to North America, these guys will tell you, you are not pricing enough. That means you are not doing a good implementation and you are not providing good services to me. So you need to learn a lot about it. For us, it has been, and it's still easy to scale in North America than in Europe. We do 60%. We acquire a ton of customers every month. We add around 1 million ARR per month now. It's a bless. Now we have opened the operation in UK. We are trying to penetrate France, maybe with an acquisition, better than try to sell from Italy. But the problem is that in the United States, there is one culture path. You want one culture footprint. So I'm not saying one rule fit all Americans, but it's more easy to go and say, try to sell in UK, then in France, then in Germany, because you need to have marketing in German, operations, GCS, customer success in German, a salesperson that feels the culture of German. In Atlanta, we have what I call my Latin mafia that are made by Colombian guys that sell only in South America, except Brazil. And we cover all the sales cycle from lead generation, inbound and outbound, to sales, means account executive, then land and expand, then help desk, and so on, all in Spanish. Conversion rate, it's when we have added these guys that speak Spanish and have the same culture footprint, changing from there to there. Taxes and finance, we discussed it already. Move the parent company usually is done with the equity exchange, and this is subject to capital gain. Having an investor that will give you money to pay these taxes, it's a good thing. In Italy, we have this strange thing that you can reevaluate your asset 6 months, pay 8%, otherwise you're gonna pay 26. It's super stupid, but it's an Italian thing. Another item you need absolutely to take care is transfer price. Transfer price is a liability for the company, because if a company owns an IP and you make sales with another company in other regions, you need to pay some transfer pricing. So you are leaving money to the taxes of the country where you make sale in order to pay the taxes where you have the IP. So the Agenzia delle Entrate will ask you more money, and the United States or Canadian tax agency will ask more money. So you need to be completely binded. We are doing this job with KPMG, costed $200,000-300,000 bucks. Strategic choices. First of all, now, like Cosimo said, you are in a really financial honeymoon, because there is a lot of free money, so you have negotiation power to negotiate with your investor. Does your investor need to have majority or minority? I don't care. There are techniques to control your company, also with minority. It's called a shareholder agreement plus other stuff. For example, my investor is a very entrepreneurial investor. They don't want another person. When I decide to sell, they will follow me. Completely opposite compared to Cosmo. Hiring a new CFO is very often mandatory, because you need a CFO, not because your investor is telling you to have a CFO, because you need a CFO. You need structure. You need to build your monthly report. You need to have your costs under control. But if I was you, I will try to drive this process, hiring the CFO that I like, not the CFO that my investor like. Otherwise, you start getting political conflicts. Important, when you start scaling, you need a backup. If I go down and go home, and I'm hit by a truck, I need someone that can back me up. I have my CEO, the person that should be your backup if you die or decide to, go away and bye-bye. IP, strategy, in Italy or abroad. My problem is that my IP worth $40 million. So if I need to sell my IP, I need to pay $20 million taxes. So we decided to sell the part of the IP that is new, that is the artificial intelligence algorithm, to Canada, because it's new, but keeping the legacy IP in Italy. It's the only strategy I can follow. If you are small enough, do like Cosimo, transfer immediately, and use the money, part of the money of the investment to transfer. Grow, use or proceed. Grow organically or through acquisitions. Actually, we are still lucky enough to grow organically, but I'm starting getting curious, also in terms of learning experience by acquisition. Board, be picky. I mean, refuse people that are not a fit of your culture. I mean, I don't want to have gray-haired guy, very corporate, coming from McKinsey or whatever in my board. I mean, we now are 4-ish guys. My investor is really super wealthy guys, worth $1 million each, that sit on my board. We take decisions in Skype. This is the board that I want. Plus one lady that joined us, but is like us. I really will not be good on dealing politics, but my COO is. So we have this kind of different souls. I'm the ugly, unpolite, is the handsome man, completely political. I don't, okay, grazie. I think. Question?
Sorry, I have a question from Benedetta. You were talking about multi-office teams, okay? So I would like to know a little bit more how you manage that, because we also are in like multiple offices, same time zone, unfortunately, but there are some things that we're working on, and I'm thinking, as you scale the team, how can you make sure that communication across offices is always fluid and that there is the same kind of culture across both offices?
It's not only a problem of communication, but it's a problem of the leaders that you have in the other offices. I mean, for example, we failed 2 times to hire a CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, because we hired from Toronto and we did the onboarding in Toronto, but we succeeded with the CRO that was an Italian guy living in Atlanta that moved back in Italy for 1 year, completely understand the company, and then moved back to Atlanta. So the challenge is how you onboard person. You ideally should be, I'm talking only about the leadership, should be good on talking with this person 3 minutes and he understands what you want. So it's more a matter of onboarding than communication technologies and strategies. On the other side, HR is doing a great job setting up what we call rituals. We have every 2 weeks in every office the lunch and learn, that is free food in the office, plus people that speak about something you want to share. We sponsor the same events all over the world. Like we are sponsor of the Pride Week, both in Atlanta and in Milano. We are thinking to hire, but it's a work in progress, a kind of communication manager that is a function reporting to the HR. And we use Docebo to train people. Oh, so go ahead.
How did it value?
Say it again.
The IT. You're talking about worth the 40 million, right? So how? Who did this evaluation?
Well, IP evaluation or other kind of company evaluation, it's a tax liability. So the more you have external auditors that sign with their blood that this value is better, so I don't have to sign with my blood.
So you have to pay around, yes.
Yeah, it's an external audit. And usually it's based on how much revenues this IP generates.
Can you share with us some great mistakes that you done?
There are too much.
Choose one.
Not to find a CFO very early. If I would hire a CFO when we will be 3 million, 4 million, really kick ass CFO. This is one. Not use an ego vendor to hire people as the top talents earlier. I mean, we pay a ton of money to Egon Zender, but don't try to save money on hiring. Pay the best, hire the best, always.
But when you're talking about the 3 million, it was the sales or the valuation?
Sales.
Okay.
You can get 3 million evaluation with your startup that you find tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you, ladies.